I know robotic affirmations and law of assumption have been all the rave over the last few years. Shiny object syndrome is very real. It's real in marketing, in real life, and it's real in this LOA space. Everybody always wants to do what's popular, hence the term sheep and shepherd. Most people in life simply are sheep, meaning they follow the crowd and they say, oh, if everybody else is doing it, then I'm going to do it as well. As well as that, there are very few shepherds in the world. And in this manifestation space, it's the exact same way. There's a bunch of sheep and very few shepherds. So you got to ask yourself, when it comes to techniques, are you going to be a sheep or are you going to be a shepherd? Before I continue with the rest of the video, I'm going to let you guys know, as you are watching this video, today is the deadline joining Tim and I's coaching program at our old prices, because I said in the last few videos that Tim and I are 1000% raising the prices on our SP program because we do deep dive intensive work to help you guys manifest your SP and not any of this surface level BS that you see on YouTube today. However, if you don't want anything as intensive and you would like to work with me one-on-one personally, please feel free to email me as well and we can discuss that. The thing I realized about life is every coin has two sides and everything has its good and its bad. The thing I realized about the manifesting community is the techniques are good, but the bad thing is that people pick sides when it comes to techniques and people pick sides when it comes to who you're going to listen to and what you're going to do. But what many of you don't realize is taking that dogmatic approach is the exact reason, in my opinion, why a lot of you have a hard time manifesting. Some of you won't do a technique because you say to yourself, oh, Neville didn't teach that, or that's not what my favorite content creator said about this. They said don't do it that way. You should only do it this way. And this is why I said when starting this video that so many people are sheep when it comes to this manifestation stuff, because a lot of you out there, and maybe unconsciously, are falling in love with the shiny object instead of falling in love with the technique that's actually best for you. See, something I understood very early on in my manifestation journey was all of these great teachers have something to bring to the table. All of these great YouTubers have something to bring to the table. However, you cannot get caught up in shiny object syndrome. And I said to myself, Marv, you can't just listen to robotic affirming if you know that that doesn't work for you or is not in alignment with how you are or where you are currently right now. You cannot just fall in love with sats living in the end just because that's what's popular right now and that's what everybody's doing. You can't just get caught up on only listening to Neville's advice or only listening to that person's advice. You need to take the good from all of these teachers and you need to figure out what works for you. And that's exactly what I did. And that's exactly why I believe I get results consistently, because I did what worked best for me and not what was popular. With that being said, I want to talk about a couple techniques that I believe most people are missing out on and don't do because, again, it's not the shiny object, because everybody is so focused on doing robotic affirming or doing sats that they're missing out on a couple of key techniques that really are LOA, in my opinion, and that help you get transformational movement. Tim and I incorporate this with people that we work with, and they have seen tremendous results. The first technique is IFS, internal family systems. It's a therapy modality where essentially you are getting in touch with a part of you that has probably been neglected for a very long time. They call it parts work as well. The thing is, when a lot of people go through trauma, they don't realize that that trauma gets stored in the body. And when you continuously go through things time and time again, those feelings get stored in the body. So what IFS is doing is it is getting out of the mind and it is getting into the body. And you are getting in touch with wherever in the body you feel that pain when it comes up. See, in my opinion, that is a hidden tip that a lot of teachers don't talk about. Getting out of your mind, because you always hear about subconscious mind and mind work and you got to control your mind and all of that type of stuff. But what people don't realize is you got to get out of your mind a lot of times and get into the body and start to feel and release what is trapped in the body. And that reminds me of that quote that I heard from Agnes years ago when she said the body is like a suitcase because it stores emotions. And that is 100% true. There's a lot of emotions trapped in your body that stops a lot of energy from circulating in your body, or in your chi as the Chinese call it. And in my opinion, this energy blockage a lot of times is the reason why a lot of you guys cannot manifest, whether it's money, relationships, whatever. And this is exactly why, in my opinion, a lot of times affirmations or doing sats don't work, because you're blocked on a body level. You haven't done the IFS parts work to see and ask the question, what do you want? Because once you figure out where that pain is in the body, you're supposed to talk to it, communicate with it, and figure out what does it want. and it will talk back to you and let you know at times. Sometimes it won't, but a lot of times it will. And you don't know what images will come up when people do this technique with this. All types of images come up. Sometimes it'll be the kid version of yourself. Sometimes it might be an animal that shows up. Sometimes it might be an object in the world. You know, Tim and I, we work with people, they said a dark cloud appeared when we were doing it with them. So you just never know what's going to show up when you do this technique. But when I tell you this technique is beyond powerful at getting answers, when I tell you this technique is beyond powerful when it comes to letting stuff go and figuring out the answers, people get so much clarity and breakthrough after just one session. And don't be surprised if you cry, because oftentimes when people do this technique with us, they cry all the time. And that is totally okay, because to me, that is the real LOA. People don't realize this is the real law of assumption, law of attraction work, because you have that spiritual release in order to receive in the 3D. And again, people don't apply this technique because they don't want to apply it, because they think they don't have to, because Neville didn't talk about it. But also, too, they don't apply this technique because they don't know about the technique. And so Tim and I, when we do this with people and they find out about it and they do it, they're like, holy cow, I feel better. You guys answer questions and solve problems that I wasn't able to get in a matter of years. And you guys did it in 10, 15 minutes. That's the kind of breakthrough that people have with Tim and I when they do just one session with IFS. Now, can you imagine doing multiple sessions with us? So that's why if you want to take our program and do an IFS session with us, contact us now so that we can walk you through our steps in our program and help you have this spiritual release from parts that are trapped inside of your body and get those answers and get that clarity. And this brings me to the second technique, which is, as some of you guys know from my channel, EFT, the emotional freedom tapping technique. I really don't have to say anything about this technique, because all I want all of you to do that's watching this video is watch the EFT tapping videos on my channel and go read the fucking comments. I mean, people literally got a text message from somebody right after they got done doing one of the meditations. I mean, I have hundreds of comments. You can read the comments yourself to see that I'm telling the truth. And once again, don't be surprised if you have a spiritual release and you start crying, because a lot of people, when they do EFT or when they do IFS, like I mentioned, they start crying profusely, not even being finished with doing it. Only about 60 seconds or 2 or 3 minutes in to doing the EFT tapping meditation, people have told me, yo, I just started bawling 3 minutes in. And the tapping video might be 11 minutes long or 15 minutes long. And they tell me, Marv, I just started crying. And I say to them, I know you did, because you were holding a lot in and that energy was stuck and it wasn't circulating, because again, the body keeps the score and you released it. And so it finally came out in its proper context. The emotional freedom technique, just like IFS, is no different. In my opinion, just how you do it is different, because with IFS, you just close your eyes and you see and you feel and you get to talk yourself through it yourself, or you have somebody facilitate it for you, like Tim and myself. But with tapping, there is no just sitting there with your eyes closed and feeling it yourself. You are actually tapping on meridian points on your face, on your body, on your hands and stuff. And you're repeating along to the words that I say in the videos. Now, you can do this with your eyes closed while you're tapping and really feel into it, but you don't have to. The whole point with tapping really is, while you're tapping, you're acknowledging flaws that you have inside of you, but you're still telling yourself that you deeply love, cherish, and accept yourself. So what that would look like, for instance, is you would tap something along the lines of, even though I'm insecure about my weight, I deeply and completely love, cherish, and accept myself. Even though I know I'm fat, I deeply love, cherish, and accept myself. And for instance, you would do the same thing when it comes to relationships. You would say, even though my SP left me, I deeply love, cherish, and accept myself. Even though I was cheated on, I deeply, completely love, cherish, and accept myself. So what you are doing, you're facing the truth, and you are also facing your lies. What you're doing is you're facing the fact that you are insecure. Your SP did cheat on you. But you're also facing the fact that I love and accept myself, even if I don't feel like I love and accept myself, which is the lie. And you're getting that energy that's stuck in the body. You're getting it to circulate and move while you're saying these phrases. But I can tell you that it works miracles. Again, just read the comments in my videos that are about EFT. As you are tapping on these meridian points around your body, you are allowing the energy to circulate and to calm your central nervous system down. You are grounding yourself, giving yourself the capability to believe what it is that you are repeating to yourself. Because I'm sure that many of you out there have said an affirmation, and when you say it, you feel this feeling maybe come up in your chest area, or you feel this feeling come up somewhere in your body. And when it feels like it hits that part of the body, what happens? It stops. It gets stuck. The energy stops moving right there, it feels, and it gets stuck. That's why tapping on those areas while you're doing it it helps keep that energy circulating while you're saying your affirmations or doing your visualizations at the same time. Do the meditation that I have on my channel for free and read the comments. People have gotten tremendous results. And if you're interested, I have an EFT course that is an 11-day course, and you go through each day specifically is catered to a certain area in your life. It takes you all the way back to your childhood, and then you go up to adolescent years, and you go through high school, and you go through your college years, and you go to your adult to currently where you're at. And this is really for if you're trying to manifest a specific person, whether it's new or old. You go through each day, and it's 11 days. And I always tell people, do not do it just to get through it fast. Don't go to the next day if you're not ready for the next day, if you don't feel like you're ready for the next day. Only stay on day one and do day one if you know you're not ready to go to day two. And then once you get to day two, don't get past day two if you know you're not ready to get past day two. If you need to keep doing day two EFT over and over again in my program, then keep doing it. Then move on to day three once you're ready, and so on and so on. So if you guys are interested, don't hesitate to contact me to purchase my EFT course to manifest the SP. Again, people have gotten tremendous movement and have gotten SPs or have gotten new SPs if they weren't old, and it 1000% works, just like IFS. Lastly, the thing I want to talk to you about is taking action. When are you out there watching this video right now going to finally take action and get serious about this stuff? You know, I had a phone call with a guy this morning who called me and said, Marv, I spoke to your partner last year about getting into real estate and doing some real estate deals. And he had went on to tell me that he had tried to do 2 deals last year and both deals fell apart, and he kind of got discouraged and he stopped. And he's a truck driver, and so he just focused on doing his truck driving stuff for whatever company he works for, and he put real estate to the side. And he contacted me today, and he mentioned to me, he said, Marv, I'm ready to go back to doing real estate and actually trying to make this thing work. Because what he had realized was he wanted real estate investing to be his plan A, but he was treating it like a plan B. This guy is also a real estate agent as well. So he had put it on the back burner. And like I said, he realized his mistake was, if I want to really become a real estate investor, I got to actually decide to put time into doing this and stop putting it off to the side. We then went on to agree for a deal structure, and this guy will begin to look for real estate deals, and we will split the profits 50-50 for whatever he finds. I say all that to say, a lot of you guys are in the same boat that are watching this video. A lot of you guys said, oh, I'm going to start tomorrow, and then tomorrow turned into next month. Then the next month turned into 6 months later. Then 6 months turned into next year. A lot of you guys said you would start in 2024, and it is now 2025. You still haven't started, and you still haven't stayed consistent like you said you were going to. Most people, as we know, they'll have a New Year's resolution, and most people don't make it past January when it comes to their New Year's resolutions. I know the phenomenon around manifestation sounds great. I know robotic affirming sounds great. SAT sounds great. You're going to get it overnight. I know a lot of that sounds great, but the truth is that's not going to be the reality for most of you. Why? Because just like this guy I told you guys about, you aren't taking your work serious enough. Manifesting a person back into your life or manifesting someone new, it's not your plan A. It is your plan B or even your plan C. You're putting it on the back burner when you should be putting it on the front. When you delay yourself from doing the work, you're not hurting me. You're not hurting necessarily people in your family potentially. You're not hurting your friends. You're setting yourself back. I have no doubt that if you take manifestation serious for 6 months to a year and actually really start applying this stuff and coming up with a routine and being held accountable and all of that type of stuff, I have no doubt that you will see tremendous movement. Because that's exactly what happened to me all of those years ago when I manifested contact back from an SP. I got serious that one year. It happened in less than 10 months. And I firmly believe that the same thing will happen to you, but only if you decide to get real with yourself and do like Nike says and just do it.